YouTube. I know it's been a long time, but welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to be talking about how my labor and delivery went to give birth to Milan, and just keep watching. It's a good story. But it's kind of like a little story time, so yeah. So this is Milan. She sleeps, so I really can't show you guys her right now, but here, I'm going to just put her on the camera. There she is. You know, she's really asleep, so she doesn't want to say hi, but she's waving. Okay, so let's start off with the laboring part. So basically, it happened January 4th, 2020. It was around maybe 8 o'clock, I would say. I started getting like cramps, like, you know, like period-like cramps, so I thought like, okay, this is different. But I also have been getting them for a few months, so I didn't really think anything of it. So then, around like maybe 11 or 12, I went to the bathroom, wiped and everything, and it was like the bloody show is what people call it. It was red and slimy, I know. Too much information, but you wanted to watch. So, yeah. And it was like a bloody show. So, I went back and told Harold, I was like, okay, I think I'm in labor, or labor could be soon, because I have read it up online a lot. So, because during my whole pregnancy, I looked up everything online. Like, everything. And sometimes it wasn't good to look it up, sometimes it was, but just know I was the type of people that looked up everything. So yeah, so around that time, it was a bloody show, so around like 12, 1 o'clock, I went to sleep, and then I was getting cramps all throughout the night, like all throughout the night. They weren't that bad. Like, I was preparing for something that was, like, horrible, like the worst pain I've ever felt, but it wasn't that bad. It was just, like, period cramps. So, I was getting them all throughout the night. They weren't stopping. Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night. Anyways, so I would wake up in the middle of the night, and they were still the same. They weren't getting intense or anything, but they were still coming. And so maybe around 5 in the morning, they were getting really bad. And I still didn't think anything of it. I still was like, this could not be labor, because, you know, they're not that bad. So, like, they were hurting though, but they weren't bad. So I was just laying there, just letting it go out throughout the night. So I woke up around 9 to go to church. And church starts at like 11, yeah. So I woke up to go to church, and I was in really bad pain. And Harold was like, we need to go to the hospital. I was like, no, I want to eat. Because something that you guys don't know is that that Monday on January 6, I was supposed to be induced, because they said she was a little small, so they wanted me to get her out so I can breastfeed her for her to gain weight. So I was supposed to be induced at like 7 in the morning on Monday, but my due date was Tuesday, so they wanted to do it as close to my due date. But yeah, so I was supposed to be induced, so I was like, they were telling me like, make sure you eat a big meal, because you're not going to be able to eat the entire labor. So I was like planning on eating a big meal after church. So Harold was like, no, this might be it. You need to go now. You look like you're in really bad pain. And I kept saying, no, Harold, I'm fine. But he was like, no, dear, you're going. So I went to church because I wanted to be anointed. You know, for Christians, where they put the oil on your forehead and a cross. So that's what I wanted to go do, because, you know, I didn't know what could happen in this entire delivery. So I wanted to go and do that. So I did. I went to church. I was in really bad pain. And Harold was like, okay, after you get anointed, we're going to leave and we're going to go to the hospital. So I was like, you know what, fine, okay. So I went to church, got anointed. As soon as that, we left. And I got to the hospital. They checked me and all that. My cervix was 9.5 centimeters dilated. So they were like, okay, well, we need to get you to a room quick. And I was like, wow, this is really about to happen. It's just giving me goosebumps just talking about it. So, yeah. And I was like, wow. And they were like, you're doing good for somebody that's 9.5 centimeters, because a lot of women come in here and they're like screaming, but you're very content. And I was like, thank you. But I was in so much pain. It was really getting bad. I was like trying to squeeze everybody every time I would get a contraction, and they were just bad. And the worst part is, they're trying to put my information into the computer, so they're trying to talk to me while I'm having contractions, and that's the worst. So, yeah. So, I got into a room, and, you know, they were getting everything situated. They were putting on my bracelets, the hospital bands, and they were just getting the bed ready and everything, just getting everything ready for the delivery. So the contractions were coming, and they were getting worse. I'm telling you, it's really not it's not good at all. It's really, really bad pain. And it's really bad, like really bad. But it's not as worse as the delivery. But I'm going to get into that. So, yeah. So, like, around maybe 10 minutes before she was born, my water broke. I was sitting there, and my mom and Harold were on two sides. My mom was on this side, Harold was on this side. And every time a contraction came, I was like squeezing their hand. And so that one big contraction, it was like pop, like a balloon just popped in my stomach. And my water broke. And the water was the way that everybody describes it. It was hot, like not hot, but it was warm. And it had little white flakes in it, but it was clear, and that was good. So, my mom was like freaking out. She like ran out to the hallway. She's like, her water broke, her water broke. And they come running into the room, and they like checked me again. They're like, she's right here. We can start pushing. I know, we're talking about the way you came, baby. Hold on, guys. Want your pacifier? Okay, so yeah, so all that happened, and they came running into the room that I was in, and yeah, her head was right there. So they're like, okay, you can start pushing now. So they got everything ready for me to, you know, give birth, and I pushed maybe five or six times, but it hurt so bad. Like, I was in there screaming so loud. I was saying, like, I can't do this. Because I went in there and I didn't want any epidural. I didn't want no medication, and I let them know that. So I didn't have no medication. And I was like, I want medication. I can't do this. I'm giving up, stuff like that. Because it was really bad. But I was not going to give up. But I was yelling that because I was like, I just cannot do this. And they were like, no, it's too late. You got this. You can't give up. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was just so bad. So the pain got worse, and I was like, I'm just going to have to get her out because I just can't deal with this anymore. So, yeah, I was pushing, and at 1:09, Milan was born, which is like the best moment of my entire life. And she was born at 1:09 p.m. She was 5 pounds and 14 ounces, and she was 19 inches long. So she was a really long baby, but a small baby. But she was still beautiful. She was healthy. She was ready to feed when she came out. That was one thing I was worried about, because what they say with her being a little small, she may not be ready to feed when she comes out. And I was worried about that, but she was ready. She was perfect. The whole thing, it was just amazing. They were like telling me that this was like one of the best births they've ever done in a long time because it was quick. I came in there ready to go. 9.5 centimeters, I was ready to go. And she came out quick. And she was just perfect. So, yeah, that was that. There's really not much more to it. I told you guys it was a short delivery. That's pretty much all that had happened. There's nothing else like to go to it. There was a few questions that you guys had asked me. So I'm going to answer those. A lot of people asked, was it hurt? Was it hurt? Did it hurt? Yes, it hurt. Like, really bad. Especially since I didn't have any medication. I felt everything. I did tear. So I had to get stitches. And I felt that. And that hurt like crazy. So, yeah. And that's basically like the only questions you guys have asked me. So that's it, basically. Yeah. So, I guess that's the end of this video. I'm sure I didn't miss anything, but if I did, I'll make another, like a part 2, I guess. But I'm pretty sure I didn't. So, yeah, she's here now. I delivered her at 39 weeks and 5 days. So, she was basically full term. But she's here now, and she's a month old. And she's just the best baby in the entire world. Like, the best. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe to me and Harold's channel. And please like and comment down below. We'll be back with more videos. Things has been a little hectic since having our first kid, so we haven't really been doing any videos, but we're going to get back to it for you guys. So please just subscribe to our channel and keep watching. Thank you guys so much, and have a blessed day.